And we are here. Andrew!
Dustin!
How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great.
You turn the mic towards your face, you freaking idiot. And I'll stop looking at you because I already know Paul was about ready to yell at me.
Yeah, and quit flicking the springs. I don't think you can hear it.
Flick your springs.
When you put it through the computer stuff, but...
No.
I didn't really listen too good to it. I more listened to, like, bigger sections and just said, yeah, we're good. I got all my duck sounds in, so that's the important part. But
They all makes me laugh every time.
I don't know. It's as bad as a dad joke, and it's so dumb I find it funny.
Yeah, and what we're going to do when we start recording is we're going to find a picture of a duck, either with one of us with our duck or just like a dirty mallard. And every time the whack comes up, it's just going to be the briefest little like duck. Like you're not even going to really notice. You're just going to see like a flash. You're going to have to like do that like when the girls do the half like thing where you got to like click it real fast to see what's going on.
Oh.
The pause catcher or whatever it's called.
Yeah, when they're in the racy outfits.
Yeah,
and
we just got to get like a
yeah.
dozen pictures of a duck, so you always got to pause
You know
it.
how many likes they get off that just from people accidentally clicking twice too fast?
All the time.
You know, so it's like, yeah, that's a good clickbait.
It is.
You know, so, you know, because people are going to be like trying to pause and see you in your bathing suit or less. And
Or less. Less.
just saying. Like it's
The
on
internet's
there.
a
The
wild
internet's out
place,
there.
man.
It's
It's a wild west, you know. I don't think that you're ever... I'm not... You never say never. Justin Bieber. Was that Justin Bieber?
Never say never.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad at least one person's heard the song. But
That's probably not how the song goes, but
I don't know.
I think it is JB.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to line Paulie up. Paul's kind of really the one to talk to us today. And for a little context, Paul grew up pretty much in like the city in Ohio. So
Ohio.
Ohio.
Oh, just about.
Ohio.
I lived in Cleveland. Then I moved to a smaller city called Steubenville. You know, so anywhere from city to suburb living, I guess. But, I mean, I don't think you'd really call them suburbs because they weren't really suburb houses you see on TV. It's more, yeah, we got this through HUD and we fixed it up.
Yeah.
You know, those are the towns I grew up in. And so, for me... There's terms, there's slangs, you know, and I've got a whole list of things that I've heard through the years of living up here in New York that have, I'm not going to say confused me, but it's almost a language barrier.
You're also not the hunt, like, didn't grow up hunting. You did a little fishing too, but you didn't grow up hunting, so some of them are just regular hunting terms that any normal hunter would know. Probably most people would know, but at the same time, I read through some of them, actually most of them, with Paul, and I was like trying to explain them at the time, and I was just like, yeah, once we get Andrew on this and we can just start really going. It's to inform Paul and to fuck with him a little bit.
Well, it's more to inform the listeners, like, who used to be like me, who never really thought they'd get into hunting. Never really did it because they grew up in a family who didn't own guns or didn't own this gun for a certain reason or never got into hunting because they were never taught. And
I love new hunters.
you meet friends and you learn new things, like hunting and terms, like being called a baldy. Now, to me, that's pretty offensive. I got a little bit of hair on my head left. I got a good bit of hair left. Andrew still has hair on his head. Why are you talking about baldies for? Like, I know it's thinning out, but come on, you know. It sounds to me, what's that mean to you guys?
I don't know many people that really use that term much, but I do know a handful that use baldy as like representing like does or like young spike bucks that really don't have nothing. But it's just another term, like baldy. Like, you see all the baldies out there? I guess I really know less people that use that. I probably use that more in like high school a lot of the time. Dad actually didn't know that one off the top of his head.
I felt like I should have taken that off the list. If the old man didn't know it, that means it's not even like a good... I'm not even going to dare call him an old-timer because he might beat me, but...
He'd have to catch you first.
That's funny because he called him Captain Arthritis earlier. Because he was
trying
taking
to hide
forever
it.
to get out of the truck. And he goes, what the hell's taking you so long, Captain Arthritis? Let's go.
Won't be long before he's old Ironsides.
Oh, he's going to hurt us. I don't care how broke he is.
He
can probably
can't
still
wheel
shoot.
fast enough to catch me.
Yo, if he gets at 1100, I don't care. There's no place I can run that bullet can't find me. His heat-seeking 1100 rounds. But anyways, what's the more? There's a list, and Andrew,
I
you
don't
have
even
full
think we're
permission
gonna
to
get-
tangent tonight.
I don't even think we're gonna get through the whole list today. I mean,
It's like 2
it's-
pages. I think there's like 30 of them.
in this day and age, when I was a kid, we had MapQuest, but you could still get a little lost. And I remember going on out to PA with my family from Cleveland, going and seeing Uncle Irvin and Eleanor, I believe were their names. I was younger when I went out there. They lived on a farm. So to me, that was like the coolest thing. But describing distance when you get lost to someone, we're all from Cleveland. I'm pretty sure at least one of us had a Cleveland Indians hat on.
I'm
Ohio
the worst. I'm
license
the worst
plates.
with this.
And
I know where he's going with
when
this
I
one.
go ahead and ask you, hey, I'm trying to get here, but where am I supposed to go? And what direction, what road am I on? And it's like, it's just down the road a ways. You just go down over yonder, and then you make a turn here, and then usually you get a described landmark, but it's like down over yonder. What? Like I'm trying to measure distance, like how many miles? Kilometers, feet. I don't care. Give me a distance, yards even.
The big maple that used to be near Conewango, like right at the Y intersection, that's not there no more. I'm pretty sure one of the first times I told Paul how to get through Conewango, I was like, well, when you see the big maple tree, take a left. Not thinking that maple tree had been gone since we were like in school. But when I said that big maple tree in Conewango, everybody knew where it was. So that was one of the ones. Oh yeah, when you get down to down the road to Conewango, you're just gonna keep left at the big maple tree. And Paul's like, okay, I'm gonna go straight down this road till I see a big maple tree. Which in New York, there's quite a few big maple trees along the roads. But anyways, what was your list of them? We're gonna see if me and Andrew can describe the same roughly distance.
Over yonder.
How far is over yonder for you?
For me, over yonder can be up half mile to a mile.
See, my over yonder is a farther one.
Yeah.
So when I say like over yonder, I'm talking about like over the hill, like over, because we live in the valley. So like over yonder is like Randolph or like down the road from Dayton. Like you got to go over. Like it's a ways. Like you're going over something or past through. There's more. There's like 4 or 5 of them.
Oh,
I just want to see how close we are to them.
over yonder. So
So that's confusing right there because when you say over yonder, could be a minute down the road, and I
Yeah.
say over yonder, it's like a half hour.
Yeah. Over yonder isn't for me doesn't describe a super far distance.
No, like that would be like, oh, you're gonna travel. Like if I say, oh, you're gonna travel a minute, that's like far. Like you got an hour in you or more. Like if I be like, yeah, you're gonna travel a little ways, then you'll get there. That's a distance. Anyways, go on, Paul. What's your next one?
Down the road a ways.
See,
It
mine,
always it
Okay,
ends in a ways or along the way, and it always ends in that plural, that ways, along the ways.
See-
down the road a ways, and it's like, how many ways am I going? It's like there's a lot of turns and curves on these ways, sir. Now I'm a little confused. And when you're from the city, you always. Everybody cracks the joke that, everybody's like a redneck. Everybody owns a gun. So, when I came around somebody, I assume everybody's packing. So I'm just like,
It's hard to
sir,
tell around here sometimes.
ma'am, how are you? You be polite. You use a greeting and say, good morning, sir. Hey, can I ask your help? But when you go on, hey, down the road a ways, I'm just like, you hick. Which way am I going? I'm already lost. I don't know where I am.
If I go be like, hey, you're gonna go down the road a ways, that could be anywhere from like a mile to 5. Like that's to the.
I was thinking like 2-3 miles.
That's like to the school, like just out of town.
Yeah.
That's another one. Yeah, you're just gonna go out of town. Out of town could be like between the town you're in and the
California,
next,
like-
next
And-
town.
When you're coming from a bigger city, like Buffalo's the closest city, we said about an hour away from here, about 45 minutes to an hour, depending where you're getting off in Buffalo. But when they come down here and they get lost and they say, yeah, as soon as you're out of town, we have a VFW. Every small town has a Legion or a VFW.
I get a lot at the farm.
And it's
From
as
Buffalo
soon as
and
the
Niagara Falls.
VFW is, like, I swear that's where Cherry Creek ends. Because when I stop seeing buildings and I start seeing farms, we're not in town anymore.
Well, that's the end of the hamlet.
Yeah, we're not in town anymore, Toto. We're over
the town goes
We're
almost
like
to Nobles.
almost the next county over to me, and to anybody lost who's never seen over an acre of grass in their lifetime.
I get them all the time at the farm, and then I always know I should just shut up. Because they'll be like, so we saw this place on the map. Like, how far away is that? Oh, you're going to go take the left turn at, the Trillium with the bank. Yeah, you're going to take a left turn there. You're going to go down the road a ways. And once you get to this, like, little town, you're just going to drive right through that. And, like, you're just going to keep. And they're just, like, looking at me and, like, I'm, like, hand pointing and, like, drawing maps on my hand. And they're just going, like, or I'll be like, I'll look at them and know they're confused. I'll be like, or you could just GPS it. Like, you already saw it online. They probably have an address. Just GPS it. Or, like, here's the closest town. GPS that. Paul's note-taking. 1 second.
No, I was just writing something down for another short that I had an idea for.
Oh.
I've been writing them down as they come because, you start having a bunch of different ideas during the day. Everybody's had that $1 million idea. Like, dude, this would be a great invention.
A notebook, Andrew.
And then you forget to write it down. And then you're just like, dude, I had a great idea the other day. But then I'm always like, oh, well, it must have not been that great since I can't remember it. But so we got just out of town down the road a ways and quite a ways. Now I'm just like,
Okay.
That's
quite a
travel-
ways.
That's travel a
That's-
bit.
You're
that
talking
to me
2-3
is like I'm
hours.
finding a highway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going quite a ways. It's like I better find a highway or something with a road sign that says 20 miles plus on it.
That's like, if I'm saying quite a ways, you're at least Buffalo, Warren,
Yeah.
like Olean.
At least
You've got
minimum of an hour drive.
Yeah. It's the same. It's about the same as, like, you got some traveling to do.
Yeah.
Like, I can't give you exact details at that point. Like, I'm going to get you, like, you're going to go on to, like, 3 highways. And hopefully you don't miss an exit, or you're going to be in somewhere you don't want to be.
All right.
So we got directions down a little bit for you, Paul.
Yeah, that I feel like that definitely confused a few more people than it helped correct because clearly there's still a language barrier.
There's
So, like,
even in between us.
We're just
There's
gonna go. That's what I'm getting at is yuppies to country folk. We're just gonna call my folk yuppies because that'd be a lot easier.
The only time I think we would really get it on, like, if we were traveling, it would be different. But if we're talking in the woods, then it's just like, yeah, you're just gonna go down yonder a little bit. Like, yeah, that if I say go down yonder,
Like
you're
100 yards or so.
Yeah, and you're gonna go like down something. You're gonna go down the hill to like the bottom of the ravine. Like, you're just gonna go down yonder a little ways. Like up over there's that popped out. See, now we're talking like I'm talking to my uncles, and this might get bad.
Going up over theirs, and all right.
I also do the whistle and directions with my hand too. Yo, over there. Couple handshakes. Like, got the Tourette's going on.
All right.
So we're confused people.
I mean, no matter where you go, if you're not from somewhere, you're probably gonna get lost. Everybody's got a GPS now. Use it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, that's like if I go to the city and you tell me, like, oh, you're going to go like 3-4 blocks. That means nothing to me because I don't know. Like, I was like, I know a block is a square. I got that point. But if there's an alley, a big enough alley going through somewhere, I'm like, was that the end of the block? Like, I will get severely confused. Or
I am proud you know your shapes.
Street to street, bud. That's a block. Like intersection.
yeah, but I've been where alleys, but like then you have a block that's like a triangular,
Oh, that's
an obtuse. No,
Usually-
obtuse is huge.
you come into one
It's
of
a
those
cutie.
sections. They'll tell you to go in where the Y comes in, so a triangle like a Y, and then they'll tell you to go up and take a left, and whatever that street name is. Not over by Johnny Miller's farm or Tommy Smallbean's farm or Johnny's field on down the way. Because I don't know who Johnny, Tommy, Mike, Mark, or your cousin Tito. I don't
You've
know
been
none of
here
them.
for 9 years. You should. Well, you know most.
I mean,
of
some of those were actually farmers, like the Millers and Tommy.
Okay.
His last name wasn't Beans.
small beans.
I don't know. I just
Next time I see Tommy, I'll be like, "Yo, what up, Tommy? Small beans." I'm gonna get kicked off one of my hunting properties right then and there.
I think he'll just look at you and wonder if you're okay because he knows who you are.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, you hit your head again. Yeah. But getting skunked.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Oh yeah, but
That goes for everything.
if you're not even into anything where you're collecting something on luck or skill, if you call hunting and fishing luck and skill, it's like, yeah, there's a little bit of skill. But I like
It's
to say
mostly luck.
a lot of that's luck. So, but
Andrew's
getting skunked,
lucky.
it's like, okay, cool. being a teenager, you're a little skunky coming back from the concert, or you ran into a skunk because in cities, we still got skunks in the parks and everything else.
Ooh, that I've
But
never,
getting
I've never
skunked,
said
you ever
that.
been sprayed?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, so like that was getting skunked in town. You got skunked. Your neighbors could smell it, and everybody's using all those home remedies to get it off you. But getting skunked when you're fishing and hunting,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like
I use
know
that
what
quite a
is
lot.
now. I use it now too.
I think you actually like were one of the first people I ever used it with, because around here we just like it's kind of more like there ain't no fish in that lake. There's not a deer in that woods. That's usually that's kind of changed from skunked. Man, I got skunked today. Nah, there ain't no fish in that lake.
Yeah, I mean, it applies to more than just hunting and fishing,
Oh, yeah.
too. But, like, essentially it's just the outcome you were hoping for didn't happen.
I mean, that would kind of go with actually getting sprayed by a skunk too, because your outcome is not not what you wanted is to get sprayed. That might be where that came from. I went after a skunk and I got skunked. So you lost that bet, didn't you? You 100% did not win. You got skunked. I mean, you can even get skunked even... I know we'll go... Like, even if you catch a fish, you didn't get skunked. But if you went with a bunch of people who are catching some nice bassies and you got, like, the little perch, you still got skunked.
For sure.
Like, you can go home telling yourself you didn't get skunked. But at the same time,
You got
off that boat, your ass got skunked. 100%.
Oh yeah. But then it's like, hey, look at that over there. That's a mounter. It's like, what you talking about, man? Mounter? I ain't even taking her out to dinner yet. And you want me to mount up? Okay. That can mean a lot of different things. It's like, hey, that's a mounter, huh? And it's like, mounter, I hardly know her.
So out of the city terms, I guess.
Trophy animal.
Yeah, something that's like it's not just gonna. There's not the whole point isn't to make the freezer. It's going on the wall. 100%.
So to mount it on the wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm walking and I'm in a store with one of my buddies and I'm like, so I saw this nice mounter the other day, and my dude's going to be like, oh, yeah, how pretty was she? And I'm
Well,
like,
I mean, you got to realize,
you know.
like, it's where you're standing, and most of these terms have a lot to do with it. Like, if you're standing in a bar with your buddy, and you look over and you say, hey, that's a mounter, huh? Then, we're not talking about deer.
I don't know. I still might be like, well, show me the pictures. Like, you got it on a trail cam? How close
like-
to your stand was it?
Down the Trillium has a nice set of elk horns up above
do.
the fireplace.
That
And it's
does.
like,
They
look
do.
at that mounter. And then it's like, that's a bar and a restaurant, too. And I'm looking at all these different pretty ladies.
Yeah, it's mostly on context, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, if you're looking at something, you're like, that's a mounter. And
It's always
I lock, and I'm being like,
It's a safe bet to make
Ooh.
sure you follow the buddy's eyes who says it.
yeah.
Because you get, just
I wouldn't give that the 8 seconds, but Paul might mount it.
Oh.
We're on 4, like 30. This is gonna be good.
I don't believe there's 30. There's maybe 20. I don't know. I didn't count them. But I didn't think we were going to get through all this anyway, so I figured we could have some for fun on another day, or if the people like it, put
Paul's
it in
gonna-
the comments and let us know.
Paulie's gonna have to have.
Let
like,
us know what you wanna hear.
Once a podcast, he's got to come up with a term.
Once a
That-
podcast,
What-
Paulie's Minute
Yeah,
on what the hells of hunting.
yeah.
I got a good what the hell hunting on the bottom of this page, and it's why the hell you guys do that, but I'm going to save that for later.
Oh, did you write that one after I looked? I don't know. Okay.
No. But this one's more of a coat. Didn't go 20.
see, most people will probably recognize that as a Rutt Daniels term.
Oh, I love Rod Daniel.
However,
I could watch him
to
all
break
day
it
long.
to break it down for you, didn't go 20 in terms of hunting is you shot something and it didn't even run 20 yards before it keeled over and died.
Very self-explanatory.
That happened to me twice this year.
Shut up.
Fantastic.
Shut up.
Yours went at least 40.
Oh no, she went like 100. She went like 100. Like she went 100 through the field and maybe like another 50 through the woods.
I don't think either of mine went 15, dude.
I mean, there's a
You
lot
were
of
probably
people-
right around 20. 20 yards is not that far.
No.
That's not even my target. It's like the front of my truck
No,
to my
that
target.
7-point I shot, dude, there's no way he went 15.
Oh no, he found the closest tree he could lean up.
He did
against.
too. Oh, that was. I've never seen that. I have
I
shot many a deer in my lifetime. I've never once seen one stand themselves up against a tree while they bleed out to try to keep standing.
Right. Didn't go 20. Did you ever really say that or know anybody to say that before Rut Daniels? Like,
No.
I know people would be like, yeah, man, didn't go 40 yards.
Yeah,
Or
no,
like,
that's a coined Rut Daniels term. For
yeah.
sure.
Which, if anybody's watching this that hasn't watched him, you're
Along with
you're
look at them
way
loins, boys.
behind in the world.
You're missing out. He's pretty.
Along
funny.
with look at them loins,
Look at them
boys.
loins.
Look at them loins.
Man, we're here for loins.
We're here for loins. If it ain't got loins, I ain't killing it.
There's another one that I know he says that's on here that, but I also say it all the time, and I've said it for years. I'm not coining it because Rut Daniels is way funnier than I'll ever be.
Aye. And what about going for a rip?
Oh, okay.
Depending
You
on
want to
your
go
age.
for a rip?
So
I mean, you're talking about going for a rip, and I'm sitting here. I'm talking about
Are we going 16 and up?
yeah, like are we out back at the baseball field before we're going to Taco Bell in the movies, or
Like, if
I
I'm
don't
saying
know.
like we're going for a rip, me being who I am, we're getting on the wheelers, or we're getting on like we're going to do something nuts.
essentially, we're getting muddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm probably going to lose another transmission.
Whatever two-wheeled or four-wheeled machine that you have that will go through mud or a grass field, anything of the sort,
Be there in my lawnmower.
we're ripping it up.
Yeah. You're doing crazy. Or you got some of that reservation stuff. We'll say that
It's never been out for a rip. When
For that?
talking about that, no, out for a rip for me has always been something to do with some motorized vehicle.
The only way I would have heard it would be like, you want a rip of this?
Right. Well, that's different.
Yeah. But to go for a rip, no, I don't think I'd ever use it either.
I would almost.
I would say it
fucking-
now because now it's in my brain.
I would almost throw that in as a snowboarding term too.
Oh, no, that you want to go rip it.
Yeah.
And if you came up to me and be like,
Some shreds.
this
some
time
gnar.
of year, and you were like, yo, you want to go rip it? I'm going to be like, oh, we're going boarding, baby. Like, yes, I'm ready to be sore tomorrow. Shred it. That's like,
Shred some gnar.
that's very
Yeah.
California.
oh,
You want a
boy.
board? Like, I was like, yeah.
Man, and then saying, "Oh, he's in a rut." Usually, oh man, I'm in a rut. That usually means I'm down and out. But apparently, up here, it means some deer are just ready to get down and horny.
The
Just about ready to get going down and chasing tail all day. You
Yep.
know, I don't know if I was out chasing tail. I think I might be a little happier. I might need to change what rut means to me.
It's because they're rutting around.
Rutting around, huh?
They're moving around. As the next one I know because I can see the paper is
Right.
what I usually used to say was they're Twitter pated. You know where that comes from? Twitter pated.
No,
You ever watch Bambi when you were a kid?
I have.
When all the animals are all horned up and chasing each other around. And he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what's all this? Oh, they're Twitter pated. I use that forever. Every now and then I still do when I'm trying not to like explain something, like watching a movie with Jackson and they're doing something funky on the movie and you're trying to get them out of the room. Mommy, Daddy, what's it? Oh, they're just Twitter pated.
That's a good one because
They're just worked up. They're in
I've
the
seen
rut.
Bambi. I heard the word Twitter pated, and I just thought that
Quit.
meant energetic as hell.
Quit
Well, I mean, I
watching
am
your-
when it's-
Quit watching your damn porn while your kids are still awake.
I know. Hey, listen, any show online or on anywhere anymore, unless you're watching, I can't even say that. Movies are horny.
Yeah.
Everything's horny nowadays. Shrek. Go watch Shrek and tell me how horny that movie is.
Shrek is love.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Big old green love. You know that thing went on the table.
jeez.
God damn it. Broke the table in half.
That's right. And Fiona.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So
This is going down
driving
good
deer.
tonight.
Going on a deer drive. I figured,
Sorry.
animals didn't need a ride anywhere, but heaven forbid, I guess they need to go driving somewhere.
I remember
so
you
driving
being
out deer.
I remember you being confused actually when we invited him the first time when we were in the army and he came down and it was deer season. And we're like, "Oh, we're going deer hunting. You want to go drive deer for us?" He's like,
What am I
"Where are
gonna-
we taking them?"
He's like,
I'm
what?
like, oh, am I going to do? Drive up and down the road and keep them in the woods or what? Like, I mean, if I see one trying to cross, I'll stop. I'll try and stop them. But I don't think it's going to work out too well because they're pretty quick. I mean, I've seen deer before.
So the driving deer comes from a deer drive where you're pushing a group of people are pushing a hopefully deer that are in the woods because there ain't a deer in that woods to other people's. What do you call it, Andrew? Like, so I always kind of knew it as you had pushers and setters.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I know. There's other ones like you'd call people like you got standers, or you got beaters and drivers.
Nope. It's always just
Are you
been.
playing Quidditch?
Yeah,
Beaters, drivers, blooders,
bludgers.
snatchers.
Well, I know like the drivers, like those were usually like the same things as the pushers. Like those are the guys driving the deer. I don't know where it comes from. Drive. It must be just because you're moving them.
I mean, I've also heard it commonly referred to as a deer push.
Deer put, yeah. Going on a push. I think it's more referred
I've never
to
had
as
a deer
drive,
close
though.
enough to me to push it.
I have.
I have had deer plenty close enough for me to push. Literally.
I got close enough to him. I could have went on a drive with them.
Jump on his back.
Andrew has deer that want to drive with him all the time
Yeah.
in his truck.
Yeah.
They're just tired of the cold.
I've hit too many deer this year with my truck.
Too many.
I've hit as many deer with my truck this year as I've shot
So too.
and killed.
I mean, that takes us up to our next word, being called a deer magnet.
This one was
You know-
mine when he asked me for one.
I mean, I think Dustin just did it to be a smart ass, but, being a deer magnet, and being an anything magnet, meaning it's attracted to you.
They're gravitated.
Yeah, they're definitely gravitated to that truck. What was it, 2, 3?
Two.
I
this
could
year.
see though, like if someone was
Within
like,
a month.
if someone from not knowing like
Same truck, too.
hunting and stuff like that, or being like, I guess, rural. Like, if you were to be like, what were we on? Sorry.
Deer magnet.
Oh, a deer magnet. Like, if you were like, hey, looking at a vehicle, be like, that's a deer magnet. They might look at the vehicle going like, there's a magnet? Like, I could see that. I actually got some cousins that I could see that thoroughly working on. But
All I can think about, a little sidetracked here.
that's fine.
Paulie knows what I'm talking about when I say rock magnet.
Ooh.
From the steel plant.
You stubbed him.
New kid would come in. And you tell him, oh, you got to go to the supervisor's office. Tell him to give you the rock magnet. We need to get these rocks out of here.
No, see, ours was the charger jack, because there was no floor jack for the charger, because...
Now I need to know yours,
Oh,
too.
well, the tire went flat. It's like, yeah, cool. They're never flat tires.
Oh, no air?
Yeah, it's like
No
the
air.
fourth
It's
of
like
the
a
tire.
solid
board
rubber.
It's like a board stretcher.
Yep.
Go get me that board stretcher.
Blinker fluid.
Humvee armor test.
Yeah, go grab that hammer and check the hard spots and check for weak spots in the armor and mark them with this pen.
We got a good one. My boy Clipple. I know he's probably one of the only ones that actually fully listen to these. My boy Clipple. We got him with the dozer. Like, go test the blade of that dozer, and like straight up had him like with rocks. Like, gave him a little ball peen and rocks, and he was like carving circles into the blade to be like ting ting ting. Oh, that's a weak spot, and like Xing him out and stuff like that. We had like 30 people down there like yelling at him to be like, dude, no, you need to really. And like other people are getting on there like testing it to like let the joke ride. Oh, we had him like to the point where it was like, all right, that one's fine. We'll put that on the dispatch or whatnot. Like, go to the next one. Yeah.
So now he's just running around carving up people's blades.
Yeah.
I mean, heaven forbid
He learned, though.
you
You
had
know.
a good soldier who was following orders, but that was also to teach you not every order is a smart order.
Yeah.
And you need to somewhat
Use your
have
brain.
a brain
Yeah.
and give a little bit of feedback.
Exhaust test.
I feel like they were just looking for feedback at that point of being like, that's not a thing. I'm sorry, but
I think there was a couple times where he goes, "These guys are f***ing with me,"
I think
and
one
then
of the
just
best
goes,
ones.
"I'm not gonna like go against these dudes."
I think one of the best ones I ever had was bearing grease. Now, don't get me wrong. Normally, bearings take grease, right?
Grease.
Well, the mills at the steel plant, they have wooden bearings. Like you don't grease them. They get
I
water.
never was a mill rat, so you
They
have to,
get
like,
sprayed with water while
Yeah.
you're running the mill.
but
Well,
the bearings and the buttons needed grease.
Well, yes, those do
So-
need grease, but you take them to the button room for that.
Okay,
You-
so
you pull
were
the whole
talking
button
about
out.
getting the bearing grease for the roll itself.
For the roll, like those
But you
little
meant just
wooden
water?
bearings.
But, yeah,
That was my favorite. It'd be
Yeah.
having him go over to Kevin's off. Well, Kevin's not a supervisor anymore,
I remember Kevin. He
but
was a good
Kevin
guy.
and be like, "Hey, go to
Hi,
Kevin and get the
Kevin.
bearing grease from Kevin. We need it."
I don't think Kevin knows how to work a podcast. He's old school.
Hi, Kevin.
Was he a Marine?
Yeah, he was. He used to give me shit all the time for.
He used to have double lippers in all the time too.
Hoorah! Semper Fi.
He plays video games, so I'm sure he knows how to work.
Okay,
something.
never mind. I forgot he was a gamer.
All right, Paulie. What's your next word, phrase, or confusion?
We're just gonna go ahead and change gears, and this is more of a what the hell.
Oh,
What are you? Why? This is more of a why. Why is this even a thing? But why would you spray yourself with piss? Just go ahead. And I had a buddy in school, the first buddy I had that ever even mentioned to me what hunting was. I didn't even know that there was different shotgun shells and rifle rounds or whatever the hell. But this kid knew it all. He grew up hunting with his dad. And he's like, dude, smell this. And I smell his camo jacket. You know, I'm like, oh, that's a nice coat. Whatever. It probably smells good. It was assaulting to the nostrils.
is that why I never can get you to
No.
smell a new?
No,
every
that
time
one
I get
time-
a new door piss, I'm
Can
like,
I-
smell this.
No.
Can I start
'Cause
by
I know
saying?
better.
Can I start by saying, it is not a good idea to spray it directly on yourself to begin with.
Oh, it was on his jacket.
Well, it
Whatever.
works. I'm sure. Like he might have some success with that. That's fine, but it's not a good idea. Only because if you have a buck ramped up enough, testosterone up enough,
You are now his new girlfriend.
and you are on the ground, and this deer gets close enough to you, and it knows where that smell is coming from, you're gonna get attacked.
Oh, dang. No wonder why he quit hunting.
you are now a wife for a night.
Yeah. So it's best
Or a
when you're
new punching
using
bag.
when you're using
Oh, boy.
deer urine, whether it buck urine, doe urine, whatever. Use it in the way like
Put it on a scrape.
a scrape, or like
Drip rod.
tie a rope to the end of your boot and put like a cotton ball there and drag it behind you to simulate a doe walking or a buck walking and pissing a little bit.
I've sprayed it on my boots before.
I
But
have
I've never like I don't think I've ever because it is an attractant. It's not like nose jammer. Hashtag nose jammer. Like sponsor us. Come on. Anyways, like it's not like nose. It's not meant to cover up your smell. And if you are a person that can sit there, like more power to you, and smell doe piss, like just huffing the bottle doe piss, like good on you. You might kill the monsters. But I'm also one that like I'm not huge into. Like we barely use it.
only
Nose
on
jammer.
scrapes, really.
Yeah, but we really only do that like once every other
We
week.
only did it twice this year.
Yeah.
Beginning of bow season.
Pretty much every time I had to go to your property is when I use it.
Beginning of bow season, and then right before shotguns kicked off.
No, if I know they're in rut and I've got the opportunity to hunt like the same spot, I will go at the same exact time to try to time that buck and put the doe piss there.
he'll,
at the same
he'll end
time,
up timing you if
Yeah,
you got him
that's-
worked up enough.
That's what I'm saying is like to get him to be on my time. That's about the only time I like use it. I just also like to try to get people that don't know hunting and be like, "Oh man, I just got this great scent. It smells awesome. Smell this." Yeah.
If it's in an amber bottle, I highly suggest you don't. Especially if you're not used to the smells of the wild, such as urine or how animals actually smell or a natural sense of things. If you're used to flowers, posies, cologne,
I don't-
bod spray, and axe, you
I don't-
don't even smell anything out
Your
of an amber
first-
glass bottle.
Your first good whiff of deer piss, especially doe
Oh, it's
and
life
heat,
changing.
dude. It
It's
will
life-changing.
hit you. It will hit you like smelling salts.
Oh yeah.
It will.
Especially if it's old.
yeah, roughly yes.
If it's been
Even
fermenting
when it
and
was on my little buddy's coat. Yeah.
Which I
Like-
can't wait to start fucking around with smelling salts. Be like, oh, yo, dude, smell this, smell this. It'll be like in a deer
I don't
piss
mind
bottle
smell.
or something.
That's great before you hit a big lift. If anybody's into lifting out there, go ahead and take a nice whiff of smelling
Isn't
salts
that just
out of
straight
a jar.
urea or not urea.
Pneumonia.
Pneumonia
or something. I have
Ammonia.
no
Ammonia.
idea what it is.
Ammonia.
Ammonia,
But-
not
Well, yeah,
pneumonia.
pneumonia.
If
is
you're
the
tired, you're not
sickness.
tired
That's what I get.
anymore.
When I go hunting. Yeah.
Take a whiff of that if you're tired. That'll hit your.
That would be a funny video. No one's gonna do this because no one listens to this enough to steal our video. But like, have you guys like working out, doing your smelling salts?
Yeah.
And then me and like my camouflage like workout gear, like smelling doe piss to do the same thing.
Gross, bud. Just gross.
It doesn't
I'm
bother
gonna call
me.
you bud
Like
'cause
I'm
I'm
also the guy that
concerned.
goes to the woods like when I'm with people and be like, "You smell that?" And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "That's a blue harpy eagle." Like I love smells. Like I'm also the guy like the people are like, "Oh, you can't smell a buck."
Yes, you can.
I can smell a buck from like 100 yards away or where
If the
he was
wind is
bedding.
just right, you
Smells-
will smell it.
smells
before
like
you
a
see
goat, really.
You will
a
smell
male
it
goat
before
that's been
it'll be
pissing on
musty,
himself.
Super
Yeah,
musty.
but some of them can be really strong, and I like going through like with people, especially Hunter. He'll be like, now he thinks everything smells like a buck. We were walking the other day. "Do you smell that buck?" And I'm like, "Yo, bro, that's dying leaves." Like, and then we'd walk a little farther, and I was like, "You smell that buck?" He goes, "That's not a buck." I'm like, "No, that's a buck. It smells like a goat that just pissed on himself. Like, that's a buck. Not that maple tree that died 20 years ago and is rotting." Love you, Hunter. Hashtag save Hunter. Yep. Hunter is okay. He's not dead or anything. The hashtag just means we're not bullying him as much. Only when I see him.
He's busy. Leave that poor guy alone.
He's got life.
But hey, man, nice rack. Dude, I'm telling you, dude,
Speaking of the
nice
devil.
rack, man. You know, everybody has heard that slang term, you know, when you're talking about a lady. Dude, you see the rack on that? Now, you know, you can go
With
ahead.
respect.
Well, I mean, normally I'm hoping I didn't say it loud enough for the whole world to hear, because that's an awkward conversation you might be having with a lady that's having a rough day.
That goes with mounter.
Yeah,
It's one of them ones that it's like,
definitely. I can't mount her. I don't even know her.
yeah.
Definitely dependent on where you're standing in the moment.
Yeah. But, like, I could see, like, someone be like me and Andrew talking and be like, "Dude, you check the rack out on this?"
Yeah.
And our wives would be behind us and be like, "What?" And we like, then they look and it's like, you know, nice buck.
Trail
We got a
cam
trail
pictures,
cam. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm at the age of my life where I get a better trail cam picture. I'm more excited than that than other pictures. Seen one, you've seen them all. Not with deer.
No.
Oh,
They're all different.
Oh, marriage must be fun. Once I say I do, they don't.
Coming from the guy that married me. Father
We're
Paul.
not married. I was the official, just so everybody knows. He's not my type.
You're not
He's a
either.
little too
You are
hairy.
redheaded, but only your beard, not your hair. So
I'm telling your wife. Good
Yeah,
thing she
she's-
doesn't listen to this.
she's blonde.
She doesn't listen to this. We'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll be all right on that one. But yeah, that's one of the one. It's a lot like mounter. It depends on context. But normally when we say nice rack, it's typically, besides Andrew in his stage of life right now, it means nice buck.
No, honestly, when I'm referring to the way you're referring it to, I don't even call them a rack anymore, man. That was like such a teenager thing for me to do, referring to women. I'll just come right out and say it how it is, man. That's a nice set of boobs.
Yeah, just because. That's a nice set.
Those are some nice honkers right there, man. You see those things? No, if I'm talking about racks, I'm talking about deer.
Yeah. I'm not going to say, you see the antlers on that thing?
No. No.
But I will be the one to correct people. Like, they'll be like, "Man, do you see the horns on that? Those are
They're
antlers." But at the same time, I'm the guy be like, "Dude, nice horns, man." Don't correct me. I correct you. I'm a hypocrite, 100%.
Do as I say, not as I do.
100%. I should have been an NCO. What was that, Paul?
That was containing myself from explosive laughter.
Explosive diarrhea of the mouth. That's me on a Tuesday.
Here's one. So, unless you've actually watched a hunting video or know somebody to go
I
in the
know where
woods
he's
with
going.
you know, when you're talking, and, you know, even these guys that are bigger
You know
time
where he's going.
podcasters that are hunters, you know, they do this really loud whisper thing. Like, you know, I'm talking in my normal tone, but then when I'm on camera for cinematic effect to make it extra dramatic, I guess, you know, because heaven forbid I'm scaring off this deer behind me. Hey, yeah, so we got this nice 8-point deer. It's at least 150 pounds. It's like the biggest deer. And all I did was lower the octave of my voice, but not the volume. So anyways, when I could actually just be talking to you without straining my throat and
No.
pissing myself out and getting all scratchy, I have to whisper really loud because, you know, I'm pretty sure everything can still hear me, even though I'm whispering. It's almost like inward singing.
Okay.
Because
So
they know
from-
I'm rucking all the time, you know?
From personal experience, I will tell you the octave does matter. I've had deer beneath my feet, and I'm on the phone with Dustin talking like this the whole time at this level, and they don't know I'm there.
I'm saying, you ever seen Jurassic Park when they're sneaking through the kitchen and the kid's like crawling around?
Yeah.
I just feel like that's a loud whispering situation. I'm just like, there's no way if I was a velociraptor that I would not catch this little shithead going through this kitchen. There's
See,
no way.
I'll go like onto it. Like, yeah, I think the octave does matter, but I don't like it. Well, I can't say I don't like it. That sounds weird. It always makes me laugh when you know there's not a deer in sight of these guys, and they're still whisper talking. Like, how many times like we've yelled tree stand to tree stand?
Yeah.
Like with other people, or been like pushing deer and being like, you know, hey, move up, and then okay, bang, like, like just walked up on as we were yelling, but some of it does deal with like octave and stuff like that.
Move up, bang.
Yeah. Because
I find it silly.
Nothing stops a deer more though when you are on a drive when the guy that's pushing goes, "Deer coming." I don't know how many times I've been the stander and sitting there and going like, "Oh, okay, here they come," and then see the deer stop as soon as the dude yelled, like just being like, "Oh," because they go, "What the f*** was that?" But it does work.
Well, I'm saying it's like when you're a little kid and you're at a sleepover and you're all excited because you're up past 12 and you know the awesome commercials on Comedy Central come on and you're just like, dude, did you see that? That was so awesome. And then your dad comes in, would you guys shut up or else?
Yeah. But there is, I know there's a thing with, we talked about it earlier when you brought this one up, is there's something to do with mothers and their hearing. Like a low resonated like dude voice, like just talking quietly, like, and lowering your voice. Like you could be right next to a sleeping mother and they not hear it.
Ignore you anyways.
Well, that too. But you can also then be like, if you went, wah, wah, like tried to make like a baby sound or something, like they'll wake up instantly. Like that higher pitch sound because their bodies are like registering to take care of the baby and not take care of their husbands anymore. Oh, if this offends people, I really don't care. Love you anyways. Go watch puppy videos or something.
Puddle videos?
Puddle.
Yeah.
Puddles of puppies.
Was that on
Puddles of
purpose? Or
puppies?
was that
Yeah, that's what a group of puppies is called. Is a puddle. We talked about this
For
on
one,
a
it wasn't a
podcast.
group. There was two.
That's my puddle of puppies. That's mine. That is my Winifred and my Gunner. Yeah, because someone else commented like on Facebook, like, yeah, that's a real nice puddle. And I'm like, that was sarcastic as fuck. I know it was.
I commented.
You messaged me.
That's the cutest puddle I've ever seen.
Yeah. Which, when you said it, I didn't hear sarcasm. I was just like, oh, he thinks my dogs are cute. But someone commented, be like, yeah, real nice puddle. And I was just like, I read it sarcastically, and I'm like, I'm not even going to comment, fucking dickhead over here. Like, then someone else was like, oh my God, puppies. And I'm like, oh, puddle. That's what I refer to dogs as now, is they are my puddles. And Gunner makes a lot of them.
Yeah, I bet. He does.
Dude, he piddles so much. Oh, that dog is going to be the death of me. He's a puppy, though. He's got a little bladder. He drinks like a full-grown, like, adult beagle. And then but he only pees, like, little amounts. And he'll just beep, 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 beep. Oh. Like, my snow is yellow, and not just because of me peeing out there at 3 o'clock in the morning with him. It's because he literally will pee, walk 10 feet, and pee again. I've also, speaking of puppies, have you ever seen a dog pee and then instantly poop? Like, not move? I don't think I've ever seen it. He did today. He was pissing, and then instantly, like, didn't move, and he just arched his back different and started pooping.
Normally, they'll do one in one spot, move a couple steps over, and then do another.
No,
another
he
spot.
didn't move his feet. He just arched his back differently.
You
and
gotta go. You gotta go, man.
I was just like, I was utterly like, I've never seen that before. I mean, I'm 30. I've seen a lot of things. But like, to like generally go like, I've never seen that before. Shocked me a little bit. Yeah, because usually they'll like go and then they'll sniff around for their poop section and whatnot. Paul looked like he wasn't ready, so I'm just going to keep talking about my dog's bathroom habits. All right, Paul. What's your next kerfluffle?
Being a band hunter. Are you going after them bands, dog? I got them bands. I got thousands. I got bands. But, you know, clearly that's...
Bands will make her dance.
Yeah.
Bands will make me dance out in the field.
If I get a band, I'm dancing like an idiot. You go down to all your college buddies you're in college with, and you just be like, yeah, man, I'm a band hunter. Everybody's going to think you got at least $1,000 in your pocket right now.
Not a chance.
Yep. So
Hunting gear is
a
way too
band hunter
expensive.
to our hunting fellas.
Or non-hunting fellas.
So-
if someone says they're a band hunter, is
Well, so a lot of birds, especially migratory birds, scientists will band them. And what that means is they'll put like a little metal band around their foot with a tag on it or numbers etched in it. Whatever.
there's just real quick. There's usually 2 to 3 different types of bands. You can have federal, state, and then organization.
Okay.
If I ever get anything with a double band, I'm retiring. Not really. But yeah, keep going. I won't interrupt you again. You
But,
go
I mean,
on your.
it's mostly migratory birds, but I've heard people shoot like banded crows before.
Well, it's just studies that are going
Yeah.
on and stuff like that.
But the bands are for research.
Yes,
And
because you're supposed to call them in
yeah.
and everything like that if you get a band. And they make nice jewelry around your lanyards for your duck calls, geese calls.
They sure do.
They sure do. We don't have any. They do turkeys too. They do
they?
turkeys.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Actually, I was gonna have Hunter bring them in. We were gonna
Turkey
talk
doo-doo?
about. Yeah. We should be getting him back more towards May. His grandfather worked for. I don't think it was DEC, some organization, and I might be a little wrong on these things, but he has New York State unused, like from like the 80s turkey bands.
Okay.
Which he actually, and I think one of them is a used one on a leg that his grandfather banded and then went off a couple of days later and shot. Like when they released it, went hunting, and because they released it near his area, and the bird had moved over there and he shot it. So he got one of his bands back. But he's supposed to be bringing. I think he's got like a half a dozen of them or so. But I believe they're federal or state. I don't know. I don't know all the topics, but so I don't want to talk about it too much. He will. Yeah, we're done with bands.
Oh, yeah.
But I would love to have a band. $1,000 right now? I'd be going to get my new saddle right now. Or a new bow. I don't know what. If I want to get a saddle this year or get a new bow. Well, Paul's looking up. I know you want a new bow.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been looking?
I got to figure out what kind of money I'm going to have for it.
Don't worry about the money. You got to know what brand you want, because then you work harder to get that. That's what I did. I was like looking around and be like, oh, I should have like $400 extra or something this year for a new bow. And I was just like looking, I was like, but I really want that bow. So now I'm like been saving like dollar bills to be like to get it.
PSC's nice.
I think I'm going to go bear. I'm going to get out of my diamond rut.
For me, well, see, that's the thing. The bow I've used the most is a Renegade, which they don't even make anymore.
I love that bow.
I hear good things about bears. I hear good things about Diamond. I hear good things about Matthews.
I mean, it all depends on, like, I guess, really what you want. I always have used diamond. Every bow I've ever had was a diamond. And I'm really, maybe it's just because of the bow shop that we go to, but their bears are really nice. And I love singing in my head, "Oh, Fred Bear, walk with me." And Emma loves that song, too. I played it the other night, walking around, and she danced behind me, like, through the whole song. And I was like, maybe that's a sign that I need a bear bow. And I like their camo they got on the new ones.
I'd consider a bear.
Matthews are just too big. I'm a little guy. Maybe it might be better for you.
Yeah,
Matthews
no,
is like a
because-
Matthews is half of my body.
There's a lot of times I tuck myself into some tight spots, man. If I'm bow hunting, if I'm not in a tree stand,
That's why I've always liked my diamond. It's small.
yeah,
And I mean, it's not it's not the smallest bow, but it's not like I got a couple cousins that use Matthews, and they're literally like from the ground to my chest. But yeah. Anyways, get off bows, or we'll be here forever. Next
Cutting them.
goes
You know-
goes right with the bands.
yep.
I'm just saying, cut them. Well, I don't know what the hell he did to piss you off, but I don't got a knife on me, and I really don't want to go to jail today for cutting somebody, because that's assault. No, thank you. I'm not going to jail just because you're mad and you want me to cut him. Well, it's a little different when you're hunting.
Yeah.
So
Mostly for bird hunting. So like your geese and all that. When they get close, people yell all different kinds of things like hit them, kill them, shoot them, but cut them is like, I guess, the most popular or the most like what people will say. I don't know. I like saying it. Usually, and I think it comes from a little when birds are coming in, usually they're cutting. I don't know if you're just then cutting them short, maybe. I don't know. But it's just another one of them words you just shout out. It's like pull when trap shooting.
Yep.
You know, if we're out shooting something and I say pull, that means throw it. like don't go set up that target. Pull it. Shoot it.
Cut 'em is like the equivalent of looking at your dog at an intruder and go, kill.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
I think there is a dog command cut 'em too. I don't know. I've never raised like bird dogs or nothing like that, but I think there's one about cutting them. I don't know. That might not be. If anybody knows, let me know.
I mean, I think we got time for one more here.
Yeah, let's do one more.
You know, we got giving them a haircut. You know, I didn't think it was really important to, like, you know, having your deer, your rabbits, your squirrels looking nice before you shot
Dad
them.
laughed at this one.
You know, I mean, let's just be real here. If I'm going to go out into the woods and say I'm going to hunt something, I'm going to go out to shoot it. I don't want it to look pretty.
Yeah,
I want it to look pretty.
I gave a deer a haircut this year.
You did. It's pretty much a close miss. Like, you might have just got skin, but
Like, what are you using, a comb and scissors out there or what? Because there ain't no outlets in the woods.
I think I don't know. I've never had as much hair with. I would consider if you gave him a haircut, you missed.
Yeah.
You didn't wound them. You just cut some hair. So like their underbelly and stuff like that has a pretty thick hair. Pretty thick hair. That makes no sense. Grammar police. So like if your arrow just passes under, it will leave a lot of hair on the ground. Or like their brisket does too.
Sure
So
does.
it just means like you were very close to wounding the deer. Because if you gave him a haircut and you were only an inch higher, you most likely still just wounded the deer. It just means a close encounter. So like, I mean, you could shoot at a turkey and pop a couple feathers. You gave him a haircut. You know. I'm trying to think of other ones. Anything where you lose feathers or hair, but you didn't harvest the animal, you gave it a haircut.
In my opinion, it was always if you found hair and no blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which that can be misconstrued because I've seen deer not bleed for
I mean, a brisket
40, 50 yards.
A brisket shot would be then considered a haircut, but yes and no. If you didn't hit no vitals or nothing like that, I guess you could still consider it. If you only got hair and no blood, would be kind of the same thing. Like, but if you shot like the underbelly, and because if you cut, you never even touched their belly at all, and one of them blade passed, there is a lot of hair on the ground.
I ever tell you about the doe I gutted with a 20 gauge slug?
You gutted her with a 20 gauge slug.
Gutted her.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even in the woods yet. Like I had parked my truck and I was walking. You know where that blue parts truck is of mine?
Yeah.
She was right over in there. It was a nice snowy day. I pulled up. I rushed. I was young. I pulled up. I rushed it and I shot. And as she starts running away, it was a young doe too. As she starts running away, all I see is her guts following her from behind.
I thought you meant like you Texas harsh shot her.
No, I straight gutted her.
Yeah,
I split her belly open with it, and her guts fell out.
Yeah,
that's how she died.
I've had that happen too. It's not a good shot.
No, I felt bad.
Any kind of gut shot, I instantly feel like. Of course, I haven't had one in a couple of years because I try my hardest. If I even have a remote chance that I think it's going to be a gut shot, I aim farther into the shoulder.
And that was the sloppiest kill I've ever had. But that was also the same deer I was tracking when I shot my 6-point.
Oh,
the very first actual buck I ever shot. I was tracking her, and he was already wounded behind a willow tree. Actually, he let me get.
Oh, right. Yeah,
he let me get every bit of 5 yards from him, and he was like, "Nope, I've had enough of this." Got up, started running. I shot him too. Not in the guts though.
Nice.
I pegged him right in the neck.
Did I show you the picture of Hunter's buck he was going after?
The one he found in the pond.
Yeah.
You didn't show me pictures.
I don't know if we talked about it. This will be our last little thing. Our Hunter, or my cousin Hunter, was after this pretty nice 8-point. Like, not a monster. He's a nice 8-point. I don't think he wasn't quite as big as yours. And was walking by his pond and happened to see a dead deer like under the water, and he thought he might have been the one that he wounded during bow season. So he was like, well, at least I'm going to get it out of there. Like, at least get something out of it. So, And I guess when he pulled it up, it was that really nice 8-point that he was after. He don't know, like, he wasn't, it was pretty bad. It's black and hair's off of it in some spots. Like, he wasn't going to investigate anymore.
Sure, it was pretty smelly.
Yeah, he went back today to get the head off of it, at least to hang up to, like, kind of have something. But, yeah, he said it was pretty bad. Like, when he was talking to me on the phone when he was carrying it to the tree, like, he was like, well, I'm bringing it to you. I'm like, not unless it's in, like, a dozen trash bags, man. Like, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to go find woods and hang it up in it. He goes, oh, I could just, like, hang it up in a tree. I was like, if you hang it by a rope where, like, no squirrels or nothing are going to get to it or coyotes can't pull it down, I said, we'll go back in the spring when the sun's cooked it off a little bit and it'll be a little bit better. Put it in a bag and then pressure wash it and give it a little Euro mount. So, but yeah, you could hear a couple times must be the wind change while he was walking because he was talking. And Hunter has a pretty weak stomach to begin with. So,
I pride myself on having a pretty good, strong stomach, but there are certain things that will just make you gag, man.
yeah. Dead anything, like old dead anything is pretty bad. But I also, gut shots usually don't bother me unless it's also like a spine shot, like, and then you're going in or like hits far back ribs and there's bone fragments. That, like, once them bone fragments for some reason hit my hands, like my nose opens up a little more. We were coming by, we're one of the farms just a while ago. I think they're poop pond overflowed, and there was some rot with it. And me and Paul were driving by, and Paul is a ways behind me, like half mile or so. And I'm talking, I'm like, wow, that stinks. Like, it smelled like gangrene, gut shot, like just like enough where it was about to make me gag. And I don't think Paul believed me how bad it was, because then he, like, I hear him rolling down his window as he's getting closer to the farm and stuck his head out, and you hear him go, and he gets back and I was just like, dude, what did you do? My head up. That was stupid. Then he rolls his window up and he goes, man, that was stupid. It's in my car now. And you could smell. I bet you could smell it for about 2 miles. A mile before and a mile after. It was strong. It was actually the same day when we both passed you. You were going to Steve's to fix your truck. It was that day. If you would have kept driving down to Moss's, it was bad. Like enough where I shut my heat off in my truck. And, like, open up the back window so it, like, suck some of it out. But now that we've talked about the nasty stuff, I guess, I'm kind of got to pee. And I can't make it through here no more. This is why we got to change this. I can't leave when I got to pee, and I got to pee more than any of you.
Oh, figure it out.
I will. I'll figure it out. And then I'm going to mount her.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to go mount her. What are you doing? Planning a hunting trip? Because apparently mount her means something different around here.
I'm gonna ban it. But I don't got nothing else. Paul, you got anything?
I had the whole show to get all my questions out.
No. I think we will start doing that, Paul. Well, you can start having like a question, a podcast.
We just need to open up a thing that has any questions you guys have. I should find a way to just take a poll, and we'll just collectively come up together to come up with some questions that you guys have, because I'm kind of ruined. I'm not full city anymore. Like, I've skinned deer, I've skinned rabbits, I've chickens, geese, pig, cows,
all of old McDonald's
goats,
farm.
lambs,
Yep.
anything from Dan the Butcher down the way. That's technically Dayton, isn't it?
Yes.
Dayton, yes.
He does a good job. I like the way he
I like
seals
how he
everything.
used the down the way.
Down over yonder, down in Dayton, right?
It's more of one of them. Yeah, it's just over the ways.
Just down a ways. Okay.
Yeah.
Down the road a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, he vacuum seals everything, and it all looks nice in a package. Everything's labeled. You know what you're eating, and Dustin's got a pee. So I
gotta
guess
pee.
whatever time of day you guys are listening, you guys have a good one.
Anyways, yeah, but on that, yeah, if anybody sends in like ones they've heard or ones that you guys say that nobody else might know, Paulie can start taking them and we'll start bringing them up.
Okay.
Maybe put your name out there.
Or leave it in the comments. Dustin reads the comments.
I do.
He's your guys' number one fan. I swear he's more pumped up about the comments.
I don't
than
care about the
anything.
I don't care about the likes or the views. If someone comments, I'm commenting. There's actually on one of our podcasts or shorts is literally just me and like random people so far. There's like 3 or 4 of them that have just been saying the word trout to each other. Like the first guy said trout because it was a fly fishing one. And I go trout. Someone else commented trout. Then I commented back trout. Like it's just become this little feed.
That's
and if
more like
anybody
a
listens to this,
trout.
go to that one. It's me doing the fly fishing short and just comment trout. Let's see how many we can get up there. If anybody's listening this far into it, then we know we got some keepers. But Andrew, so that you can get out of my way, do you have anything for the nice people?
Yeah, always check your bow sights.
That was dirty. That is dirty.
Jab.
Dustin. I'm not even. I got nothing else to say.
Maintain your equipment.
All right, guys. Love you. Bye.